Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am doing a super fun tag that was created by Brooke. So this is the beauty brand tag. I will link her information and video down below. But I saw Angelica do this tag last week or the week before. And I thought it was such a fun tag, so I thought I would do it too. This is Tara's first original tag, so be sure to check her channel out. And this is 15 questions about different beauty brands. So the first question is, think back when you first started your makeup collection. Are there any brands that you used then that you still use today? So I could think back to two different times. So the first time would be like when I first started using makeup. And a lot of those brands were like CoverGirl, Wet n Wild. I don't use a lot of CoverGirl anymore. I've tried some different things here and there, and I haven't been a huge fan of their current products. Wet n Wild, I still love Wet n Wild. I just don't purchase a lot because I've tried Wet n Wild. And with my low buy and trying to figure out what makeup I own, I'm really trying to only purchase things that I haven't used. So I just don't have, I'm trying to think what I even own of Wet n Wild, like an eyeshadow palette maybe. That might be all. The other time I'm thinking of is when I really first started getting into makeup, and Urban Decay is that brand that I think started my true collection, like what it is today. I would say Benefit is another one that I definitely still use today. Like their brow products are my holy grail brow products. So I would say Benefit is the one that I first started with and still tried and true use today. Number two is a follow-up. Which brands have you moved on from? And I don't know that I would say I moved on from Urban Decay. I still like the brand. I just don't go towards them as much. When I started collecting them was when they were doing Vice palettes and those box palettes from like, it's like Alice in Wonderland or something. There was like butterflies that popped up. So they were doing a lot more colorful grunge kinds of things when I started using them. And they really scaled back from that and went to really a lot more neutral and that naked palette kind of theme. Now, I definitely want that Wired palette that came out. So if they're going to come back to that fun, colorful kind of makeup, then I will probably lean back towards them. But I guess I would say I kind of moved on from them because I don't still tried and true use them. Number three, are there any brands you thought were so expensive that you'd never buy anything from them, but now consider at least one of their products to be a holy grail? If so, which brand and which product? Off the top of my head, there are two brands that really come to mind. When I first started looking at makeup, ABH was a brand that it was just like I oohed and ahed over, but to me, it was so expensive. So if I bought something from Urban Decay, it was because it was in a sale. But you know, ABH wasn't really on sale, and it was something that was just like untouchable for me. And I know now it doesn't seem that way about ABH, but it definitely seemed that way to me before. And then I remember close to when I started my channel, the Modern Renaissance was on sale at Ulta, and I picked it up and probably used points to get it, so it was probably free. And now, like, these are my ABH They are definitely a holy grail to me. I love them. I don't purchase every one, but the ones that catch my eye, I purchase because the quality of these eyeshadows and the color stories that I have purchased, I absolutely love. And these are ones that I reach for over and over again. And then another one that actually popped up just like last week is the Fenty Gloss Bomb. You guys, so many times I have thought in my head, why are you people buying an $18 lip gloss? There are so many lip glosses that are so cheap, but so great. And then I tried one in my Fenty BoxyCharm box, and I want them all now. I actually have some in my cart. I'm waiting for there to be a sale at Sephora. But that gloss, I mean, y'all are right. It is amazing. It is amazing. There is one other product, and it's Sigma brushes. And for so long, I mean, I just got some like the end of last year because that's always been something that's, to me, more expensive for something that I can get more affordable. And I just never wanted to spend the money on it. Well, I spent the money on it because there was like a huge 40% off sale. I use them every single day. Now that I have them, I could not live without them. They are definitely a holy grail in my collection. Number 4, what is a popular brand that you've never tried that you don't think you ever will, and why? I actually thought about this when I was watching their videos, and the one that really pops out to me is Jeffree Star, because so many people do love Jeffree Star that I think it's a pretty popular brand. But I don't think I will ever purchase anything from Jeffree Star because I don't appreciate the way that he speaks to people, his viewers. And I've watched a couple videos and I have to shut it off because I feel like I'm being, I don't know, a bit berated when I watch him. So I just can't support that. I know everyone says the quality is so good, the looks that people do with the palettes are beautiful, but for me, it's not going to happen. Number 5, what brand perfectly encapsulates your current makeup aesthetic? Explain. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is so hard because I feel like there's so many brands, especially indie brands, that really show my current makeup aesthetic. So I'm just going to have to say a couple here. The first one will be Juvia's Place, mainly because the majority of their palettes are bright, bold colors, and that is what I love. Any brand that's doing a pastel collection right now, Menagerie Cosmetics, which maybe we've seen it, maybe we haven't. Terra Moon Cosmetics is coming out with a pastel collection. Unique, fun, not the rainbow color is really what my makeup aesthetic is. And there are just a lot of brands that are really doing that well right now. 2 other brands that I am going to mention are ColourPop, because something else I love to do in makeup is monochromatic looks, and they've got their monochromatic 9-pan palettes, although recently they've been like rose palette, mauve palette. So those are not those ones. Like the Mint to Be, the Orange You Glad, those are the ones I'm talking about. And Lunar Skies Cosmetics is coming out with some so beautiful monochromatic palettes. Their Moon collection, I want them all. They're so beautiful. All of those brands right now are the ones that really pop out to me. It was funny, someone last night said that it was that I have an eccentric makeup look, which to me, it's not really eccentric. It's me. There's just so many different brands right now that are doing things that I really love to do. That was a really hard question. Number 6, are there brands you haven't wanted to try purely because you don't like their packaging? There are some Morphe palettes that I think are beautiful that I would definitely not pick up because they are like the size of my desk and I have nowhere to store them. I wish Morphe would make more palettes like this Jaclyn Hill size. I think this is a perfect number of shades. 10 shades, that's perfect. I wish Morphe would do more of those with more concentrated or curated color stories. But I will say one brand that I never tried because of the packaging was Storybook Cosmetics. This I got in a BoxyCharm box. I would have never tried Storybook Cosmetics had I not got this in a BoxyCharm box because it's literally a book. Literally a huge chapter book. And like, where am I going to store that? That is the size of 3 eyeshadow palettes in my storage back here. But this one, this is the one we got in the BoxyCharm box. Oh my gosh, these shadows are flippin' amazing. And I would never have tried it had I not gotten it in that box. But I will not pick them up again because I don't care what the color story is. I don't want that kind of packaging in my collection. Number 7, is there a brand you've only tried because of their packaging lured you in? If so, were you happy with the actual product? Honestly, I don't think so. I am so specific about the things that I buy that I don't think packaging could actually make me purchase it. Definitely, it could make me want it in my collection, but I don't think I would ever purchase it. Some things that I'm thinking about are the themed like blushes and highlighters. So like the Rebecca Rabbit one. Is that what she's called? Rebecca Rabbit? Roger Rabbit's girlfriend? Is it Rebecca Rabbit? But the ones where they have those beautiful embossed powders and then the packaging is nostalgic. Those ones make me want to purchase them, but if you've watched my Will I Buy It's, you know that I won't purchase them because I would hate to have a product that I would never use, and I would never use those because I wouldn't want to mess up the powder. So I don't think so. Number 8, some would say drugstore and mid-range prices are starting to overlap. What drugstore beauty brands are guilty of making this happen, and what are your thoughts on rising drugstore makeup prices? Oh my gosh. First of all, what comes to mind is Pixie. You can get Pixie at Target, but I feel like it's so expensive. And I was watching Everyday Heidi. She was talking about how the Pixie glitter eyeshadow topper things replaced her steel ones. She was talking about products from the drugstore that had replaced her high-end makeup. But I remember going and looking at those Pixie ones because I was going to give those a try. And I felt like the price was so similar to the Stila glitter ones. And if I buy the Stila ones in like the 3-pack of different colors, it is cheaper than getting like 1 or 2 of the Pixie ones. Plus I get to have different colors. So I feel like Pixie is definitely up there. I feel like Milani is getting up there. NYX, and I don't know if they've started to come back down, but I remember last year during my Will I Buy It, some of their pricing, like we're getting in the $25 range for eyeshadow palettes, and that is not drugstore pricing. Like that, Tarte has got a palette for $25. Those are like the 3 that really pop out to me that I've kind of felt that way over the past year. If I want to buy something from the drugstore side, it better be a drugstore price or I'm not picking it up. I'll go to my indie brands that are more mid-range, I would say, and purchase it from those instead of purchasing it from the drugstore. With anti-consumerism and an eat the rich mentality starting to take hold in the YouTube beauty space, are there any brands that you still feel a loyalty towards? If so, why? Definitely. Like I said, ABH, that they are going to continue to get my money when it comes to eyeshadow palettes when there's a color story that I like because I love their formula. If Urban Decay starts coming back with color, I'm going to stay loyal to them. Amy Hearts Beauty is one of the first indie brands that I tried, and she is also the first brand that gave me a chance on sending me PR, and she continues to just blow me away with how rapidly she improves her formula and strives for that, and I will continually support and be loyal to her. 2 other ones, and I don't know why I always group these together, I just do, are Luxie and Divina. Now, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for Divina to come out with new mattes, and the second they do, I'm probably going to purchase them. They're coming out with more new shimmers. Divina, to me, is the matte shadow standard. I don't know why they haven't come out with any more. They've been coming out with the sugar drops and their other shimmery duochrome kinds of shadows they're coming out with, but there haven't been any new mattes in a while. And Luxie, I mean, this is how loyal I am to Luxie. They have not released anything. It's been a long while since they've released something besides the ice cream social shimmer shades. They posted last week that a new bundle was going to be dropping, and like the second it went live, I purchased it. Because I've been waiting for them too, and I'm definitely loyal to that brand. They create some beautiful quality eyeshadows. I'm trying to just think of the ones off the top of my head because I feel like those are the ones that are most true to the questions where I'm not having a long time to think about it. So those are the ones that really pop out to me. Number 10, have you ever felt betrayed by a brand? If so, what happened? Here's the thing. I love makeup. But I don't care that much about what a brand does with their collections to feel betrayed by a brand. Does that make sense? I'm going to buy from who I want to buy for. I have no attachment to any brand. They don't know me. So I haven't ever felt betrayed by a brand. Number 11. Okay, this is Editing Me. Editing Me is doing a lot of work today. I just had to insert a clip into another video as well. I do have a brand that has betrayed me, and I just recently found it out. After I filmed this tag video, I went to go shop on e.l.f. website. They had a free shipping if you spent $15, and you also got Like there were 5 different things you could choose from for free. And I wanted to pick up some of my makeup removing pens. If you guys have been around on my channel a while, you've probably heard me talk about these things over and over again. One of my favorite products ever invented, ever in all of makeup. They used to be sold at Target and Walmart. They stopped selling them there, but I could still get them on the website. Guys, they are no longer in existence. It was the most heartbreaking thing I've ever discovered. I have 2 backups of these, but that's it. It was a super sad day when I found that out. I cannot believe it. Like, these are the best invention ever. They're just a little, I mean, they're like one of their eyeliner pens, but they're eye makeup removers. So it is so easy to clean up out here, which honestly, I can use wipes for. But if you get a little spot like in here that you have to clean up, or a little mascara, this is the perfect pen for that. And they no longer exist. So that is the biggest betrayal of my life to date. I'm totally joking, but not really joking at all. So I'm sorry, you cannot get these anymore. Let's get back into the rest of the tag questions. Number 11, are there brands you feel give off exclusivity vibes, making you feel like you aren't cool, rich, or pretty enough to buy from them? If so, which brand and why? Yeah, I think I would have to say, I mean, I don't particularly feel this way because, like I said, I'm going to buy the makeup I want to buy and I'm not going to buy the makeup I don't want to buy. But I kind of feel sometimes like the bigger YouTuber brands, the brand doesn't give off that vibe, but the YouTuber gives off that vibe. But in the same sense, they want everyone to buy, but they also give off a vibe that they're kind of cooler. Do you know what I mean? Here's the thing about tags. Sometimes I struggle to explain myself, but I think that's really all though. Because probably those brands I don't really pay much attention to anyways, because they're probably not doing like a ton of color and fun things. So maybe they're not cool enough for me to buy from them. Just saying. All right. 12. What's worse? Choice fatigue, exhaustion from too many makeup releases, or a lackluster quarterly launch from a brand you've typically been excited about? What's worse? Yeah, okay, so I don't mind choice fatigue because that means I'm probably saving some money. And I don't even need a quarterly launch, but let's just talk about, okay? Blush Tribe? Certify? Where are my new releases? That's worse to me. I mean, I go on Blush Tribe and Certify's Instagram page all the time, and I'm like, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Then they're still posting things. Like, they're still there, because I know with Looksy, they took a little break, and I want to say something happened. I don't know if they were moving or something happened. So they were at least on a break. Certify and Blush Tribe, it's like they're there, but where can I get some new color stories from you guys? I mean, these are 2 brands that I mean, we were all in the indie world. We were in love with these brands, and now I miss them. So I would definitely say that is more sad to me than choice fatigue. Because with choice fatigue, like, I'm getting into what I own and I am saving money. Number 13, have brand trips or sponsored videos ever made you actually interested in a product / beauty launch the brand was promoting? No. I don't follow brand trips. I don't feel like a lot of the people going on brand trips are people that I'm watching on YouTube, so I don't even really know when that happens. Sponsored videos, they don't make me buy things either. And I mean, honestly, if it's a sponsored video, it's more likely it's going to make me not as excited to buy it unless I've been watching that YouTuber and know that's something that they are always talking about, and now the brand is sponsoring them. But I really do feel like with makeup, I've become very independently minded. I totally just made that phrase up, but like, I have my own thoughts. I can analyze things and decide if they're for me or not. And seeing someone else, okay, don't get me wrong. There are definitely things that I hear my YouTube people that I love talk about, and I want to go get those. But I usually take some time to think about if I actually need that in my collection, go in the store, check it out, see if I really want it. So no, not really. 14, are there any indie brands you hope to see sold in Ulta or Sephora in the future? Hashtag all the indie brands. Who would suit Ulta well? I just realized my daughter's been like yelling that Frozen 2 song, so maybe you heard that in the background. I would love to see one of my single shadow loves in Ulta or Sephora, preferably Ulta, like Divina, Lethal Cosmetics, Looksee. I think if Ulta or Sephora are going to carry a brand, it's going to be a brand that is a little more consistent on their releases. Lethal Cosmetics is pretty consistent on their releases, and they did just have a palette. This is that I want to see, not that I think I will see. Oh, you know what would be a good one? Glamlight, because they are a really huge brand. That one would be nice to see and be able to swatch their colorful shadows that come out. But I would love to see one of my indie brands that I love their single shadow formulas, like those 3 that I mentioned before in Ulta. If you could give any brand a rebranding, any beauty brand a rebranding, which brand would it be and what elements of the brand would you modify? I think I'm going to talk about a couple things here because there's a couple of smaller things that kind of pop in my head. So I talked about last week that I feel like Pure Cosmetics is a bit, what's your brand? Are you cartoon kitty characters or are you like toned down, simple, clean look? If I were going to rebrand that, I would go for the simple, clean. I mean, it's called Pure Cosmetics. So I would just keep that brand of we are this clean, simple look. That being said, I would never purchase anything from them if that were their aesthetic. I think it's weird that they collaborate with a lot of the cartoonish kinds of things. And then 2 other brands that I can think of. I don't know that I would rebrand them, but I would modify them. Morphe, I would take out some of those big old huge palettes and get some more of your 10-pan palettes. Okay, these are the perfect size palette right here. Not too big, not too small. You can create different kinds of looks with it. So I would pull some of those big huge palette, like that pastel palette. Let's pull the pastel colors from there and put them in a 10-pan palette. Let's pull the purples and reds from whatever that palette was and put them in a 10-pan palette. So that's how I would rebrand Morphe. And the other one is ColourPop, and I will get rid of those huge neutral palettes. So those are really the only 2 things I can think of. I mean, we know Too Faced has like 500 brands. We don't really know what their brand is. Tarte is the same. We don't know what their brand is because they've got all these different offshoots of brands. I Heart Revolution, we don't know what their brand is either. I just don't care enough about those brands to rebrand them. Morphe is something like, I love their little sections of their 35-pan palettes, but I am not going to buy a 35-pan palette. So those are my beauty brands, thoughts, and opinions. Thank you, Tara, for creating this tag. It was super fun. Be sure to subscribe and check out my spring giveaway going on before you leave, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!